Hi, everyone. I'm Jen, and I'm back to chat about the exclusivity program. We know we just did a post about the exclusivity launch last week, but there have been a lot of questions and comments that have come up in the forum since, so we figured we'd cover it again and delve into those details here. First, what is exclusivity and why does it matter? We know most of you are familiar with the concept of exclusivity, but for those who aren't, exclusivity is the ability to give exclusive access to your line to a retailer in some predefined geographical area in exchange for some minimum amount of spend. For some retailers, this is incredibly important to them. It allows them to build bigger statements around the brands they buy and invest in those relationships more confidently, knowing they are literally the only game in town to get those products. With that, we know every brand is different and every retailer and brand relationship is unique. That's why we've made some updates to our exclusivity program based on the feedback that we've heard. Now, rather than having to set exclusivity on or off for all retailers, the same required annual spend, you can choose to enter custom agreements and change terms based on what makes sense for you and that retailer. What does that mean exactly? Well, if a retailer is interested in your brand and they want to invest further, they can now request exclusivity from you and make an offer for how much they'd be willing to spend. You can then decide what to do next. You can commit to the initial offer, you can share a counter proposal, or you can reject it altogether. Ultimately, what we recommend, no matter what you choose, is understanding the retailer's intention. Why are they interested in this with you? How do they plan to support your line? And how can you support them to showcase your brand strongly and drive up sales for both of you? This allows both sides to enter these agreements with greater alignment. And for those brands who prefer to offer default exclusivity, that's great. We still have that option. It's called instant exclusivity, and you can find it on the exclusivity page in your portal. Last, there have been two big questions that have come up that we wanted to address. The first is on what happens if a retailer does not meet the annual spend at the end of the 12-month period. And the second is around the exclusivity cancellation policy. First, know it is our intention and hope for every single retailer to honor their commitments. And we've put safeguards in place to help that happen. We block retailers not in good standing from entering these agreements in the first place, and we also send multiple reminders to retailers throughout the year to keep their spend on track. That said, if a retailer does not hit their spend in the time allotted, we protect the brands. We charge the retailer and we pass the remaining spend on to you. We also recognize that circumstances can change. A retailer could go out of business or undergo financial distress. So we allow them to request to cancel if they find they can no longer meet their commitment. While we expect and hope this to be rare, if it does happen, we encourage you to find the best solution that makes sense for both parties. You can deny the request, you can let them opt out, or come up with something in between. Either way, the control is in your hand, and our support team, as always, is here to work with you and the retailer to settle on terms that work for everyone. We hope this clarifies our new launch and the questions that have come up. Know we see exclusivity as a way to build more successful relationships on Faire and are really excited about the potential for both brands and retailers. There have been thousands of agreements requested already just in the last week, and we would encourage you to check them out, explore what exclusivity can do for you, and as always, share your feedback and ideas. Thanks so much.